Yeah, hey, 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 hey. Yeah, hey, 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 hey. I actually went live on time. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I'm so excited. Hello, beautiful people. It's Bonnie Gillespie, and it is time to use your moons. I'm so excited I made it here on time. Hello, Michelle. How are you? Happy Mars Day. How you feeling? Tuesday, May 13th, 2025. We are going to do the June calendar. What you need is that June calendar, which I've made available for you through a link I will pop in the chat. You need some cute little these things. Yes. Need a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Yes. Different colors. Right on, right on. Excellent. Yay! I'm so glad you made it, Carla. Good to see you. And here we go. Right back over here. Excelente. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Oh my gosh, y'all. We're going to have so much fun. We're going to have so much fun. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yay! Okay, good. All right. Yay! Happy to see y'all. Have you hugged yourself today? Even if you have, do it again because it feels good. Big hugs, big hugs. Lot of stuff happening. Lots of Mars. That full moon in Scorpio. That was no joke. That was no joke. We're now in Sagittarius moon on Mars Day. Lots of fire. In Taurus season, so still feeling a little grounded, I hope. I hope. But yeah, that full moon in Scorpio was a little extra. And that's kind of the way. That's kind of the way. Scorpio likes that intensity. Scorpio enjoys that feeling all the feelings really hard. And that particular full moon, I've been hearing, was like eclipse level intense for some folks. Good to see you. Thank you for saying hello in the chat. I know this has become a little bit of a ritual, hasn't it? Lilith, Black Moon, in Scorpio. Been interesting to say the least. Yes, Carla, I agree. I keep thinking I need to do a Black Moon Lilith conversation at some point. Yeah, because she's also a lot. In all the right ways, but important to understand the power, to know what we're doing with all that. So good to see you. Thank you so much for joining me here. If you are watching live and not able to chat, you just need to subscribe and hang out for a few minutes, and then it will give you the ability to chat live. That is one of those benefits of subscribing. If you want to know when my next events are, go to bonniegillespie.com/events, and you will know indeed when I am next live. I am going to put a link in the chat for those of you who need the calendar, but it's just the month of June. That's all we're going to do, month of June. That is it as a PDF. If you click that link that I put in the chat, it's also in the description for those of you watching in replay. And what we're going to do is spend some time today with our fabulous cooking display, but I'm not cooking. Well, I mean, I'm cooking up calendar. But as we always do before we start the calendar, I'm going to do a little bit of divination dice here. So these are my cute little, did I get them for my birthday, half birthday? When did Keith give me these? Last year. One of those, birthday or half birthday. And I don't want to put them in the marble container because I don't want them to break. Okay, we got Uranus last time too, y'all. We got Uranus last time. This time we have Aries Uranus, that's a few years away. No, that it happened a few years back. So yeah, I mean, it's a few years away, but in the past, in the 11th house. So what we use these divination dice for, you can use them for lots of things. I like to use them to just give me a centering energy for this conversation. You can use them to give yourself a quick reading. You could see all sorts of different combinations that answer questions. Use them like tarot cards, or just like a little one card pull. So Aries, of course, sign of independence, moving forward, taking action, enthusiasm, big puppy energy. Uranus is the planet of where am I not free? And if I'm not feeling free, we're going to fuck some shit up to get free. So Uranus is the disruptor. Uranus likes to make technological advances and likes to shake things up. And then the 11th house, that is your friend group. That is your larger friend group, your community at large. It is where you feel the need to do activism, where you use innovation and possibly technology to do some of those more innovative things. So I'm going to, actually, I'll just put you right there as our little reminder during our session. Let's get you a little out of the way there. All right, I think, okay, and then all the rest of my cute little shows and tells. There we go. Fuck the patriarchy. That's my cute little, what is the word I'm looking for? Come on, menopause mouth. Paperweight. It's a paperweight and a quartz. Yes. Thank you, Bon, for the recommendation for a bath soak. Much needed and felt especially soothing as I connected with the water moon. So y'all, this is a ritual. Is there that big a difference? My regular water moon ritual. So every time the moon is in Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. So that's thrice a month. It's about once every not quite a week. I will do a water ritual that entails a dry brushing. I have really great dry brush, head to toe. Dry brush. And then a magnesium salts bath. And so magnesium salts, yeah, I guess like Epsom salts, but I use one that's got like a higher magnesium content, because magnesium in the bath can actually start to get your muscles to relax to the point that they're like numb. And it's a really fantastic way of restoring some of the mineral balance, yes, but also just relaxing to such a big degree. And so I do that dry brush. Let's just move everything off on a top cellular level and then get in that bath. And then when I get done with my soak, I use what is it called? A colonia, I think they call it, of oil of Asclepius, which is a really fantastic medically protective fixed star. And I'm a big fan. That is from Sphere and Sundry, which if you have not created a Sphere and Sundry addiction yet, maybe don't start, because it's real. And they create a lot of planetary remediation and other witchy stuff that is not cheap, but it is also really effective stuff. So I will use a tiny, tiny little capful of that and do a wash of it when I get out of the tub, right as I'm drying. Just let that soak all in. And that is my water ritual. It allows me to see everything that has attached itself to me energetically to just go down the drain. I just visualize, there we go, just go on down the drain, whatever you are, energetic hitchhikers. And if I ever need to do that when it's not a water moon, I just flick it off. Just flick it off. Just bloop, 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 flick, 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 bloop, 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 bloop. Sound effects optional. Love your book, SMFA. It's so good to see you live. Thank you, A. I'm so glad. My book, Self-Management for Actors, is in fact in its 4th edition, 6th printing. I will take a moment to show and tell. Not tell, just show. Well, yeah, I guess I told. Self-Management for Actors, 4th edition, 6th printing. Thank you so much for the love. Do appreciate it. All right, I'm in my Mars red. I think I'm going to take off. Am I going to take off my sweater? I think I'm going to take off my sweater. I think I'm just going to, it's a little chilly in here. After we had that big run of heat over the weekend, we're now back to some chilly beach weather, which I love. But I think I'm going to get warmed up as we go in here. And of course, Mars Day, all the red. Let's get into it. Here we go. We have 6 steps. And our 6 steps include the first step, which is we mark our eclipses. Always get those eclipses marked off with a big X, because we try not to do anything energetically under eclipse energy. I know that sounds a little redundant. We're going to respect the eclipse energy. It's a lot. We have no eclipses in June of 2025. So step 1, the eclipses. 1, eclipse. We've done. Check. Ship. Okay. There's some interesting handwriting at that angle. Okay, eclipses are done. So that was great. Step 2, we want our new moons and our full moons, which of course the eclipses are just special kinds of new moons and full moons where the nodes are positioned in a very sensitive way. But we have no eclipses for June 2025. We do, of course, have a new moon and a full moon. So we're going to get those marked out because those also carry a lot of energy. So we have June 11th in the wee hours. We have a full moon in, let's see, in June, that's going to be in Sagittarius, right? We will come back and do the signs, but we will go ahead and mark that full moon on the 11th. And that should place our new moon about 2 weeks later because the new moon is a fortnight away from the full moon, pretty much always. It can be off a day in one direction or the other, depending on where we are and how long it takes the moon to get from sign to sign, and that varies. But it's going to also be in the wee hours of the 25th, early in the morning for my East Coast folks, so that's going to be a new moon in Cancer, because we are definitely going to have entered Cancer season by the 25th of June. Okay, so there's our new moon and full moon done. Step 3. We are now, for step 3, going to do our directional arrows. Our directional arrows give us an idea of if the energy is moving up or down. Energy moving up toward a full moon and then down off the full moon into the new moon so that it's dark for our seed planting. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with this full moon and know that our energy is going to go down, 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 and each day that moon is losing light, and as she loses light, we find that it takes more energy and doing the things that we tend to do. And some of the things that we're going to map out with our colors, we're going to find are easier to do under low light. Other stuff is going to take more effort and more energy, and we just need to budget accordingly. It's not that anything is good or bad or otherwise. It's just that it's going to require more energy. All right, so with that, we are moving from that new moon on the 26th back up, up, up in energy until we get to the end of June. Excellent. Right on. That's good. Yay. Okay, excellent. Right. All right, I'm getting a little streaming error. Okay, sorry if y'all are getting any kind of buffering. It's telling me that there's just a little bit of a YouTube receiving video situation, which should not be over here because we are actually on hardwire to the internet. So hopefully y'all are getting to see no buffering, but you know, maybe buffering just means we take a moment, need to do a little pause. All right, so of course I started with that full moon on the 11th of June. That means I need to get my up arrows that lead us to that one. So moving backwards from that full moon on the 11th, we were going up arrows each of the days toward that until that new moon that came before it. And that new moon that came before it was in May. And I'm speaking about the future tense in the past tense because I'm doing the June calendar. But we have that last new moon in May that then takes us into those up arrows until we get to the full moon on the 11th of June, and then we get the down arrows until we get to the new moon in June, and then up again until we get to the new moon, until we get to the full moon in July. And we will be back for that episode in a month. Yay, see how that works? Okay, so now we've done that one. And next we want to do step number 4, and step number 4 is going to be our moon phases other than the new and full moon. Hey, Lisa Allen, good to see you. We are going to do the 8 phases of the moon, 2 of which we've already done, new and full. We are now going to do the ones that pepper in between. And so the easiest ones to do are going to be the ones 1 week before and after the new and full moons, because those are going to be big ticket items in terms of easy to spot. The first quarter moon is going to come a week before the full moon, and this one on the 11th is happening. The full moon is happening early enough in the wee hours that it's actually late on Monday night, the 2nd of June, that we get our first quarter moon. So we get a first quarter moon there. That's going to give us a burst of energy. That's a square. The moon, I'm going to go ahead and put that aspect there because I know that some of you read aspects and glyphs, and we're just going to start putting us in a position of being able to see those more easily. So we're going to have that first quarter square between the moon and the sun, which is a burst of energy. It is a kind of pressure that we feel as we are gaining light toward that full moon. Then the midpoint between the full moon and the new moon is going to be the last quarter moon, and that one's going to happen midday on the 18th of June, and that's going to be the last quarter moon, which is also a square right there, okay? So we're placing the non-full moon, new moon phases, and I have a few more to put in here, but I want to anchor those. So now we have one anchor per week, and that makes it easier to figure out where are the other phases going to fall. Okay, so we've got the first quarter here on the 2nd of June, which means somewhere later this week we're going to have our gibbous moon, and it looks like that is going to be on the 6th of June, and that gibbous moon is the one between the first quarter moon and the full moon. So we're gaining more light, but it's not quite a full moon. So now we're lessening the pressure off that square, but moving toward the pressure of the opposition. So it's that space in between there. That gibbous moon is going to be late on the 6th. And then we are going to have our full moon on the 11th, and the next phase will be disseminating because we're going to do on the other side of that full moon, losing light toward that last quarter square. And so that's going to get us late on the 14th, and we're going to be in a disseminating moon phase. All right, next, off that last quarter moon before we get to our new moon, we're losing light. We're going to get what's called the balsamic phase, and this one's actually really special. I like to kind of block off the balsamic phase if at all possible, because the balsamic phase is the one where we have the least light. It is doing a kind of shedding, prepping for the new moon seed planting. And so if we look at the intention setting that we do around the new moon as time to plant seeds, and we want the soil to be as clear as possible, it means we kind of got to declutter all the things that are around that area. And it's a quiet time, a private time. The balsamic moon, we are really losing light, and that one's going to be late on the 21st of June. And then after our new moon, we start gaining light as seen by these arrows moving up, and we're going to head into our crescent moon. And do we get the crescent moon before June ends? We don't. Oh, yes, we do. We do. Okay, there it is. Oh, it's right there. Derp. It's right after the balsamic moon. I was looking for it down here, and it's actually over here. It's going to happen on the 28th, that crescent moon, as we're heading from the new moon into that first quarter moon that we had up here at the first of the month, and that's going to now happen the 1st of July. Okay, so those are the phases of the moon that we put in between the new moon and full moon. So this should now be 8 phases of the moon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bingo! All right, number 4 is done. Step 5, we're now going to do the signs. And the signs that the moon moves through, about 2.25 days per sign. It depends. We get some big void moons now and then. I'm going to actually be doing a live stream about void moons later this month, I think. We have a really big void moon coming up, and I think it is this month or early in June that I'm doing a live stream about the void moon. I think it's of course beautiful that I am forgetting when it is that I'm doing the void moon live stream, because void moon is all about there's nothing to see here. You know, it is like the perfect vibe for that. I am doing, I know for sure, a live stream about our amazing Jupiter moving into Cancer situation in early June, and I'm really excited about that. Jupiter moves into Cancer once every 12 years. It's a big deal. It is probably Jupiter's favorite place to be, certainly right up there, top 3. And I'm pretty excited because Jupiter is at the top of my chart, and I am looking forward to that nice visit from Jupiter at the top of my chart. Been needing some of that. All right. But of course, as always, go to bonniegillespie.com/events to see all the times and places that I will be live. All right, let's get back at it. Step 5, the signs. So we start off June with a Leo moon from the month before. We're ending May on a Leo moon. And then we shift into a Virgo moon on the 1st of June. So we've got a Virgo moon going until we hit morning on the 4th, and then we're going to be in a Libra moon. Then we go from our Libra moon into our Scorpio moon, not the moon's favorite place to be as we discussed with our Scorpio full moon that we just survived. Whew, it was not small. All right, so late in the day on the 6th of June, we get our Scorpio moon. And that Scorpio moon takes us all the way until early on the 9th when we get a Sagittarius moon. And of course, my Sagittarius moon looks a lot like my arrows that I've been making for the direction of our energy. Don't worry, when we color code, it's going to be easy to distinguish all of this. Then we move from our Sagittarius moon a couple days later into our Capricorn moon, and that happens after that full moon in Sag. And so let's see, we are going to, yes, let's see, on the ones where we're moving late in the day, let me just go ahead and do a little bit of everyday moon action so that we can at a glance know what we're dealing with. Bloop. Yep, see, Scorpio, I had to mess you up. I know, sorry, Scorpio. All right, Sagittarius all day, yes, and then Sagittarius into our Capricorn moon there. Very good. Capricorn moon. Get to draw my Capricorn symbol, which looks just like my mom's Capricorn symbol. I know everybody writes Capricorn differently. I realized, I was like, I don't know where my Capricorn symbol comes from because I don't see it in any fonts out there. And then I go and look and I'm like, oh my God, it's my mom's. But that makes sense. All right, early in the wee hours, we get our Aquarius moon here on the 14th. Any moon app will help you with when we change signs so that you can keep up with all of that. We get the Pisces moon on the 16th. You can also keep up with moons at astro.com, astro-seek.com. You can get my Aligned Hustle calendar. You can get my chart harmony calendar is I don't tell you when the moons are moving into what because it's not granular. It's more just colorful. But that we're doing here as well. Okay, so Pisces moon on that last quarter goes into an Aries moon. And then we are in our Aries moon until we get into our Taurus moon late on the 20th. Not too late, but evening time. Then we're in our Taurus moon under Balsamic. Oh my gosh, that energy is such a delicious combination. Yum, yum, yum. Taurus moon goes into Gemini moon on the 22nd. We then are in our Gemini moon, Gemini until very late. On the 24th, we move into Cancer. We get our Cancer moon for this new moon, which of course we've already covered there, right there, boom, boom. That is the 25th. Then late on the 26th, we get our Leo moon. And on the 27th, we are still Leo moon. 28th, still Leo moon. I love gaining light during a Leo moon. Oh my God, y'all, that makes me so happy. And then early in the wee hours, we get a Virgo moon again here on the 29th and into the 30th. And I think we are still in that, yes, we're still in that Virgo moon as we move into July. So now we have done step 5, the signs. And then finally, step 6, we're going to do our colors. Yay. Colors. I got my colors. Let me also make sure that that's clear. That's my little code up there. I got a little key for you on this calendar that I provided in the description of today's event. So now we're going to go through and do our color coding. And the color coding is where we get clear on our no people days. That's what we use blue for. Our declutter days. And I know I've been using the yellow highlighter for my black, but it gets confusing. So I'm now going to use black Sharpie for black. And then I will come back and do some maybe yellow highlighting for things that are interesting and important after we've looked at the entire month. Orange for take action, pink for multitasking, green for money honey, and purple for magic. So those last two, purple and the green and purple, those are for sure. All right, so here's what we do. We hit our signs with the colors first because that's going to be the easiest to keep up with. And so since we start on a Leo moon as we enter June, we are going to have a little bit of orange right there. And then I'm going to look for when is my next fire moon. When is my next fire moon? Well, that's going to be Sagittarius. And then when is my next fire moon after that? That is going to be Aries. And when is my next fire moon after that? Back to Leo. So you see how earlier I was talking about how I get a water moon pretty much once every week. So you see the elements do hand off like that. It's kind of handy. They hand off and it's handy. I like it. Okay, next up we get Virgo. Virgo is one of our signs that we use black for. And that's because the situation with a Virgo moon is more serious. It's more contemplative. It's more Saturnian in vibe, even though Virgo is a Mercury-ruled sign. That combination of mutability and earth becomes very task-oriented in a way that for the chart harmony colors tends to map more into the black than into the staccato energy of Mercury. It's not there, it's just differently applied, at least in the way late stage capitalism and dominant culture tends to have us showing up. So next up, we are looking for another black moon, and that is going to be our Scorpio. Scorpio does not just double duty, but triple duty. Scorpio has lots of color to it, which we will get to momentarily. Capricorn, there's that Saturn ruled vibe. There we go, Saturn. Look at that, Aquarius. It's also a Saturn ruled vibe. Okay, we have a lot of black moon energy the first half of June. So what that means is the moon is helping us declutter, to shed and shred what we don't need, to prune so the garden can grow more fully, so that we can be fully fired up as we move into that energy. When else do we have a black chart harmony moon? Not again until we are in the Virgo moon energy of the 29th and 30th. It's a little more complex than just the element. Okay, next up though, we move into Libra, and Libra actually does two colors. One for its Venus rulership and one for its air sign, pink there. That, if you want to remember that Libra is always negotiating balance, Libra is always wiggling on the seesaw, and that's why two colors, because they need each other. So when do we next get green? That would be our lovely Venus ruled Taurus moon here. And then that's it for green. I know, that's it. Oop, wait, I lied. We get a tiny bit of green in that Scorpio situation. Scorpio, fantastic with money, really great with dealing with that part of the green Venus energy, even though it's not a Venus ruled sign. Okay, then let's go, since I did the pink on Libra, let's go, when else do we get pink? For sure, when we're in this Aquarius moon. Let me go this way. So that Saturn vibe, Saturn ruled Aquarius, gets topped with that air sign of pink, which chatty. Anybody who's ever known Aquarius, like the best lawyers, because they've got that Saturnian practicality and the rules, the rule of law, Saturn, and then also all the talking. I've been watching some live stream coverage of a couple of trials. Specifically, I've been watching the Karen Reed retrial. And that has been fascinating. Boy, talk about lawyers doing some lawyering in there. And I've been watching a lawyer doing an analysis of the live stream. So she'll like pause it and then give like information about what it is that's actually going on with that sidebar, or what's most likely being ruled out as we can't bring that into evidence. It's just fascinating. Oh my God. No, I am not keeping up with the news or the coverage of the Diddy trial. Mainly because trigger warning. I can't constantly be in hearing that. I will be aware of it, but I don't need to be into the play-by-play. All right, Gemini, air sign, get that pink going. And that's it for our air sign, pink moons. Yep, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. Boom, boom, boom. All righty. Next up, we move into our... What comes next? Oh, blue. Scorpio, also a water sign, gets that blue. So see what I said? Scorpio, really complex. Scorpio's got the black, the green, and the blue. Our next blue is our Pisces moon. That's a water sign. And then our Cancer moon is also a water sign. And finally, we're going to throw in our magic purple. And magic purple is Jupiter rulership for this Sagittarius moon. There we go. That's going to be a really great full moon on the 11th of June. We also get it with the magic of Pisces, Jupiter ruled as well. And that is it. That is it. Okay, finally, I know I have done our colors, but I want to color code not just for the signs. I want to do a little bit of color coding for the moon phases and also when the sun changes sign. And that is going to be late on the 20th of June. We move from a Gemini sun to a Cancer sun. Okay, so that is going to mean we move from a sun that has that pink energy into a sun that has that blue energy. What? That's right. I added that in. Okay, so going back to the phases, which was step 4, let's put a little color on each of these phases. This first quarter moon, we've come out of Leo, gone into Virgo. We're on the 2nd of June, and in this first quarter moon, we get a little bit back to that kind of Leo vibe. It pulls that square, that first quarter relationship has a little bit of that spark that is a square when it comes to the moon. It just creates that friction that's just enough to help us get things done. When we're looking at the moon phases in terms of gardening, it's when we have enough light now off of that new moon that we had a week before, where we're able to start seeing some of those sprouts coming up, and we're able to get really excited about what action needs to be taken to prepare for that full moon, and we really get going into a more productive energy on that first quarter moon. So it's got a little spark of that fire. The gibbous moon has almost like a Virgo vibe to it, so now we're back to more black energy. So look at that. On the 6th, I also meant to, because the moon changes signs here, I meant to represent a little bit of that Libra as we go into that Scorpio. So as we're changing signs there, we're getting into lots and lots of black energy on that gibbous moon as we move into Scorpio moon on the 6th of June. And so that's interesting. Where are we numerologically that weekend? We get into a 4 numerology on the 7th. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting collection of the darker colors. And that would be something that I'm going to note for myself when it comes to scheduling. Because on my calendar, I'm also looking at the numerology and the planetary days of the week. That, of course, is not what we focus on here in the Use Your Moons, what am I calling this? Demo, workout, where we share this time together each month. But if you did want to start representing your planetary days of the week, we could give ourselves orange on Sunday and Tuesday. We give ourselves, of course, blue on Monday, because Moon's Day. That's why you rarely see me doing things on Monday. I'm doing things, but I'm rarely doing people-facing things. Mercury's Day, Wednesday, gets pink. Thursday, Jupiter's Day, gets purple. And there's a helicopter over the beach right now, right out there. What is going on? Somebody's running from the popo. Get going. Be safe, y'all. Okay. All right. There 'tis. Okay, so I layer on not only all of the moon stuff, but also planetary days of the week and the numerology for each of the days. I also look at transits. I look at transits to my natal chart. I look at my progress chart. I look at my profected chart. I look at Ferdaria is a slower change, and I don't really look at zodiacal releasing all that much. I did try to get into zodiacal releasing. Had a great reading from Lisa Scheim. That is something she is an expert at, and it just didn't click with me. I mean, it did when she was talking about it, but I was like, unless I'm going to be meeting with her to like help me understand this every time I want to consult it, I don't think I'm going to get practiced enough to be able to just pull it out like that. So I decided to let that be one of the specialties that I would not necessarily tackle. And legit, this helicopter is like right here. Okay, Keith, what did you do? Your Marines are coming for you. What'd you do? They need you. Go be Batman. All right, I will check the news when this is over and find out what it is that's going on here at Santa Monica. All right, full moon. Full moon has you remember how I mentioned that Libra has the 2 colors, which is easy to remember because Libra is always on a teeter-totter. So the full moon has Libra vibe as well because it is keeping that balance between 2 things. It is the full moon in one sign, the sun opposing the moon in the other sign. That's what makes it a full moon, is that the opposition of the sun to the moon lights up the moon. Full moon becomes because we have the moon in one sign and the sun in its opposite sign. That's also why there's always that tension, because it is an oppositional relationship. When we're in the disseminating moon, we're in almost like a Capricorn vibe. Wow, look at all of these black energies clustering together. So Saturday is Saturn's day, already has all the black energy. This Saturn energy of the Capricorn moon into the Aquarius moon, and the arrows moving down off that full moon. So like we are really pruning, we're cutting things off. The concerned citizen in me says this is when it's really starting to tighten up around some of the big financial hits. This is when the groceries start looking a little more scarce. This is when we have to tighten up even more. I don't know. I hope not. But Cheeto and Chief be Cheeto and Chiefin, doing all sorts of fun, like let's collapse the economy. Well, let's boost the economy. Let's do things to show how manipulative we can be with money. Let's show how we can make all the money for our billionaire friends and screw everybody who actually works for a living. It's a little terrifying. Yeah, we're all feeling that. I can't speak for y'all. I'm feeling that. So let's go to the last quarter moon. That actually has the movement and multitasking of pink and a little bit of the tension of Saturn. Again, it's a square, so that last quarter moon brings in what we would call an Aquarius kind of vibe. And then when we're in the balsamic vibe, that's when we're in pure magic. And magic, of course, means Pisces energy. It's stuff that's done in private. It's ancestral. It is blue for being how sensitive that water sign is. Also, oh my gosh, in Cancer season, get a balsamic moon in Taurus, which is the sign of the moon's exaltation. It's like, this is going to be such a nice, private, yummy, just sensual, kind of take care of yourself spiritually sort of weekend. I like that a lot. I'm spending a lot of attention on the weekends. We've got some pretty interesting features there. That new moon gives us another of those fire boosts. It gives a little bit, even though it is a new moon in Cancer, so very, very blue, it gives a little bit of that almost like Aries energy, that starting energy, not right away, but as we get that first light after the new moon. So you plant those seeds in the darkness of that transition between the balsamic moon and the new moon. You get those seeds planted. You can wait until the first light after the new moon, while the moon is still in the sign of the seed planting. If you'd like, you absolutely can do that. Or if you've got a certain degree that's important to you, you could do it in the exact degree of the new moon itself, but you can also do it, like for me, I have a whole bunch of Cancer placements. And so I would probably look at when is the moon going to be in certain degrees Cancer, that it aligns with things in my chart. And maybe that's what I would choose for doing some seed planting, just to make it a little more resonant for me. But your mileage may vary. And then on the crescent moon, we bring in a little bit of that money, honey, enoughness, that almost Venusian vibe. It's kind of got like a Taurus representation to it. But those are now all the colors of our moon phases, signs, planetary days of the week, the shift of the sun. I think that's it for my color coding. All right, there we go. Yes, yes. So, best days for being seen. Okay, for being seen, we want to look for orange. And so we've got some of that on the 1st of June. We definitely have some of that on the 2nd. Keep in mind that the 2nd is a Monday, which is Moon's Day. So even though it's got like a black moon because of the energy around Virgo, and Moon Day is a blue day, it does have that first quarter go be seen, but I almost think instead of go be seen, it's maybe take action rather than doing something necessarily public. But that's completely, of course, up to you, because the energy is moving up toward that full moon. We then also have some good orange be seen energy in the first few days of the 2nd week of June. So 9th, 10th, and 11th, as we move toward that full moon in Sagittarius, we're going to have lots of energy of multitasking, because it's going to be that Gemini sun and that Sagittarius moon. We're going to be feeling that opposition of those two signs, but it's going to be very chatty, very active, very multitasky, very action-takey. We're going to feel a lot of that energy. We're also going to have right off that last quarter moon, as we end Gemini season and move into Cancer season, we're going to have that Aries moon to give us a little bit of last action before things start getting dark after that last quarter moon. So if you need to take action in the third week of June, it needs to be that last half. So when we get out of the Pisces moon, but before we get into the balsamic moon, for the same reasons. Pisces moon and the balsamic moon have that same energy of going into ancestral work, going into other timelines, other dimensions, other realities. And so it's not necessarily so good to do forward facing action takey things in life. And then we get that new moon in Cancer, which gives us that first little spark of light. And then as we move into the Leo moon in Cancer season for the 26th, 27th, 28th of June, we have more be seen energy. Leo moon, always be seen. Doesn't matter when it's happening. Leo moon is just like, please see me and you're welcome. You're welcome that you get to see me. So that energy is for real. As far as best days for money stuff, let's look at those green bits of color here. We've got some good money energy with that Libra moon, especially because the energy is growing off that first quarter phase into the gibbous phase. So as we get into the 4th, 5th, and 6th, we've got good money stuff. It continues into the weekend, but tends to get a little more private because of all that black energy of the gibbous moon and the Scorpio moon. We then also have some good money honey energy around the Taurus moon because of the Venus rulership and exaltation of Taurus moon. That said, it is newly into Cancer season and it's the balsamic moon phase, which means it is getting darker. The arrows are moving down. We're getting less and less and less light on that moon. So that means anything that you're starting around now, even though it's got good money energy, is going to be a slower grow than something when the light is increasing. So when the light is increasing, you're going to be creating things that build in light. But when the light is decreasing of the moon, you tend to start things that take longer to show up, that are slower to grow. And sometimes that's the energy you want. So, I mean, it doesn't mean don't use it. Just be aware that it's not going to feel the same as the green up here in the first part of June. Also, when we move into Cancer season in general, we tend to be a little more emotional. We tend to be a little more sensitive to the emotions of the world. And that can be a little extra because the emotions of the world can be a lot. And Cancer moon will tell us that the feelings we're having are our feelings when actually they are everyone's feelings. And that's real. That is a thing. Don't consider that a problem. Hi, Danielle. So glad you joined us. Thank you for saying hello in the chat. I want to make time for any questions that y'all have about the calendar. If you need me to go back to any part of it to let you know of something specific, pop your questions in the chat. If you're watching in replay, you can use the comments. I do come back around and answer those. I'm happy to help you come up with plans for any particular day that you have something going on that you would like to make sure is aligned with the woo weather. I mean, and live your life, because you've done it for certainly 10,000 something days by now. I just passed my 20,000th day, so I'm pretty sure everybody watching here has done at least 10,000 days in life. Yeah, because you're probably coming to me sometime after your quarter century mark. Most likely. My viewers tend to be somewhere in that age 30, 40, 50, 60. I know it's a big range, right? But I love it. But anyway, live your life. Do what you do. It's just a day. It'll be different tomorrow, as evidenced by the colors in Use Your Moons. Let me give you a link to my amazing, wonderful, I am building it right now, Mars pop-up course. This is If Mars Ain't Happy. And to celebrate Mars, here on Mars Day, I am doing a really fabulous Mars deep dive, 22 rituals to connect with Mars and to turn that ire, that rage, that hellfire into creative spirit, to turn it into energy that feels more productive and less destructive, and more importantly, less internally focused and ragey at yourself. Because I tend to notice a lot of artists and creative folks will turn that righteous rage energy that is absolutely called for right now, and they'll turn it in on themselves in ways that can become problematic. And so I want to make sure, especially as we are now in a state of Mars being in good shape finally, here we are in May of 2025, and Mars is in good shape. He has not been happy all of 2025 until April, mid-April, he got happy, and he's continuing to be happy. Yay! And we're going to use that energy and build this Mars course together. And so I'm really enjoying your participation, and come over and join me. If you have trouble seeing the link, it is bonniegillespie.teachable.com/courses. And then from there, you'll see everything. And if Mars ain't happy is what you're looking for there. And one more link I needed to share is my new offer that started up after last live stream. I did a whole thing on Are You Retrograde? And as we talked about the retrogradity, as we talked about the retrograde situation of your natal chart, I decided it would be great to do a little pop-up offer that if you would like to have a one-on-one with me to discuss the retrograde planets in your birth chart and where that actually means you have some magic that you can tap into, as well as specific dates to look for over the coming year to tap into that magic, that is what this session is for. And that is Cricket Feet, like the bug's toes, that's my company, cricketfeet.as.me/retro. Okay, all that is in the chat. You're doing a spiritual retreat, and it lasts till mid-June, and I hope it will be aligned. I'm sure it will be. It's going to be fantastic for you to have this spiritual retreat during Gemini season. There's going to be a lot of language. There's going to be a lot of idea flowing because of that Gemini vibe. And the fact that it's going through mid-June, you're going to find that the energy gets more and more serious as you get toward the middle of June. So that could actually line up very well. Need to file arbitration against a company. When's a good time? All right, singing bowls. You need to file. Do you want the situation to grow or to go away? Because I'm going to use that to help you find a good filing day. Because I know, like, usually in filings, we are either on the side of, oh, I'm getting this, or I need this to go away. And I want to make sure we put you on the right side energetically for what you would like. Carla, I have a new service offer for bookkeeping coaching. Congratulations. It's launching on May 30th. And the same day, I have a podcast interview. Wow, what a great day. I'm excited. I've definitely felt shifts since I started using my moons. Carla, can I take a screen grab of that and use that as like a little bitty testimonial? That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. I've definitely felt shifts since I started using my moons. Look at that. That makes me so happy. Thank you for letting me know. That May 30th, keep in mind, I'm going to tell you this now, Carla. The 30th of June, we will be in Cancer Sun, Virgo Moon, and while the energy will be moving up, which we like, Moon's Day, Monday, little sensitive, because Moon's Day, and that Virgo Moon can be super, super perfectionistic, nitpicky. So here's what I'm going to tell you. Let go of any of the details that don't feel like they were right. Got it? Because there's going to be something during that podcast interview or during the launch that snags, because snags happen every launch. We all know this. But under that Virgo moon, you might be a little more critical than you should be. And I don't usually use the word should, but just you got to let yourself off the hook for anything that snags, because nobody's going to remember it later. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the most definitely on the testimonial. You're amazing. Okay, Singing Bowl says, I want to win. Okay, great. So let's go back to the calendar and find a winning file. I want them to refund me for their mistakes and then they go away. Okay, great. Singing Bowls, thank you. Okay, all right, fabulous. So we're going to file for something that we want to win, which means we want some good competitive energy. And then we want them to go away, but we're gonna like make that the last half, the lesser of the things that we're looking for. So you can pick any, I guess, weekday probably for filing. Let me see if you gave me any criteria. Probably just weekdays. Okay, so let's look at what would be good for winning. So we don't want the situation to increase, which are all of these ups. We definitely want to win. So that means we want some Mars energy. So maybe filing on a Tuesday gets you that Mars energy. But we don't want it to be grow the situation. We want to like file and then like have this end quickly, I'm guessing, right? Okay, so what we want is, if we want things to be fair, we know we're in the right, I would say use this Libra moon right here, because the energy that's going to grow is fairness. And if it's like, it could go either way. We both have arguments in this, and a judge or arbitrator in this case could see things their way or my way. I really don't know which way it's going to go. I know which way I think it should go, but not sure. We could go for confidence with this Sagittarius moving into the full moon, but that feels a little more confrontational than we may want things to be. We could go into this seriousness of the Capricorn moon. But what I'm really attracted to for this, Singing Bowls, is this it's not balsamic, this Pisces moon before we get to the last quarter. And I don't know why I keep coming to that, but I'm like, if you could go for a Tuesday Mars day, so that's got the fight. This is a 5 numerology, this 17th of June. We've got the energy calming down as we move toward this last quarter moon, so it's not going to be this big drama. And Pisces brings in magic. And I kind of wonder if that might be a really good problem solve energy. Also, that last quarter moon solves problems. I kind of love this late Gemini season, June 17th, as a good option. And then I think my second choice is going to be up here in this Libra moon, 4th, 5th, or 6th. Let's see. Would I want you to get into that gibbous moon on that Friday the 6th? Maybe. Okay, so the first choice 17th, second choice the 6th. How's that? Does that give you good options, or do you need one more? I'm just going to answer for you. If you need one more, no, those are the options. 17th, 6th. You'll let me know if you need another one. Speaking of perfectionist, okay, great. June 4th is your birthday. Super. Then you want it to be fair. You absolutely lean into the energy of your birthday. Happy solar return. You're going to be having your birthday on a 1 day numerologically, which I really love. There's also, let me look at other transits. We have a Mercury sextile Mars on the 5th. And we've got Venus moving into Taurus. Ooh, yes. Let's wait until Venus moves into Taurus. Do the 6th. Do Venus moving into Taurus. That's going to be really delightful and early happy solar return. I like that a lot. Yeah, let's do the 6th. And then you can use the 17th if anything goes wrong and you need to take another go at it. Carla says, perfectionist in recovery, LOL. Yeah. Yep. So just remember that, Carla, when you're doing everything on the 30th of, not the 30th of June, May 30th. Dude, I totally jumped a month ahead for you. Let's look. Hang on, because we have May here. Is that May? That was December. Oh my gosh, y'all, look at how my colors were the first time we did this. Oh, now I'm going to feel like I'm going through a scrapbook. There's December and January and February and March. Oh my gosh. And then March again. And then April. April, tidy. Ooh, look at April, so tidy. Okay, May 30th. Carla, May 30th. I totally misread and gave you June 30th. If you're doing a podcast on June 30th, perfectionist zone. May 30th, oh my God, honey, look at that. Crescent moon, grow, energy up, arrow up. Leo moon, yes, queen. Venus day, Friday. I am even more in love with your amazing launch. Get it, girl. Get it. Heck yeah. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Oh, that's so much better. Okay, good. Does the same method follow for getting a bill in dispute to be reduced? Michelle, yes. And if you want the bill to be reduced, I would say use the Capricorn moon, because the Capricorn moon is going to be bringing that Saturn energy, and Saturn likes to shrink things down. Saturn likes to chill things out, likes to prune the unnecessary. You remember how Saturn's like baseline criteria? And so anything that you can do to help move that stuff down, that would help. Okay, excellent. Excellent, excellent. Right on. Right on. Wow, says A. Glad you're enjoying this. Yeah, use that Capricorn moon. Let me see what else. Let's see. Bill in dispute to be reduced. Yeah. Uh-huh. Capricorn moon on Friday the 13th. It's a 1 day numerologically. It's also Friday Venus's day. That can be good. I'm on it, says Carla. Thanks for confirming that. Yeah, sorry, Carla. Yeah. Yeah, I totally jumped the month. I was too excited for your launch. Congratulations, though, on your new service offer for your bookkeeping coaching launching. I'm so proud of you. That's great. That's great. If you're in our Discord, make sure you share there too. We have a little section in Discord called Look at Me. And that's where you can feel free to promote and share the love. Yes. We're celebrating that E today posted a link to their latest audiobook narration, which is an amazing trans book. And they got to voice multiple trans characters through history. I say characters, but it's actually just leaders through history. It's a nonfiction book about the history of trans leadership. And well done, E. Congratulations. And so important. Visibility, especially for populations that are feeling under attack right now. I mean, that's pretty much everybody but the billionaires. Yeah, please do what you can to keep folks who are definitely overtly under attack in your thoughts and in your light them up, put the energy on, put the attention on, in all the best. It is okay. We love you. Be seen. You are absolutely important and you matter kind of vibes. And that is my public service announcement for the end of my live stream. Y'all, we're getting this calendar down to like a half hour. I mean, and I'm even able to like explain all the things. I know I give a lot of information. Can't help it. I give a lot of information. I would say blame something in my chart. And seriously, it's probably my Mercury conjunct Mars in the 10th house. I'm always going to have something to say. But it's also my Jupiter first house. It's also my moon conjunct rising. It's also all that squaring my midheaven. I just got a lot to say. Haven't gotten to Discord yet. Okay, good. Come on over. Discord is fun. Our Discord is a fun little place. It is like old school message board energy. It's a place where, it's old school message board energy. It's a place where we can go deeper on some of the astrological topics. It is also where anybody who's in like my private memberships, like Live Your Chart or the Mars pop-up or the Venus pop-up, that we still have students starting that up regularly. In fact, this was really cool. We actually had somebody who came in and said, I'm registering for the Mars startup or pop-up called If Mars Ain't Happy. But because I know my Mars and Venus are conjunct, I'm also going to do 44 days with Venus simultaneously. And I was like, I love you so much. That is brilliant. That is exactly the way to do it too. Like do a little bit of Mars, do a little bit of Venus, because they both need that kind of help. It's amazing. But so we have like private areas for those paid membership groups. And then we also have open areas where we can discuss the minutia of chart harmony. We can go and say like, oh, I put up a song and music video yesterday and said I'm creating my playlist for Mars, and I came across this video at YouTube, and it's like a seriously beginning days of YouTube old. It's like seriously 15 years old. So not quite the beginning of YouTube, but still it's an old video. And when I looked at it, I was like, this is so ahead of its time. Is this like a Uranus video? Is it a Uranus song? Is it Mercury because they're just doing all the things? And so it's like we're gonna have this discussion of like what planet or sign or both is this music video doing? Because I think in terms of that. Awesome. Yeah, come on over to Discord. Amazing. Thank you so much. I had a fun time. Would love to check the link for chart reading session. Okay, great. That link that I last put in gets you to the retrograde reading, but if you go just to, let me see if I can put it in here, https://BonnieGillespie.com/scheduler. That should take you to an embedded scheduler for all my one-on-one appointments, because I have ones that are like hybrid sessions. I have packages. I have ones where you want like, you still want coaching, like you want self-management for actors coaching, but you want it to be astro informed. So where we take a look at your chart, we take a look at some of the woo weather, we make sure that you are getting yourself in the right places for what it is that you need, not just for your career or your life, but also your astrology, without you having to learn astrology. I got you covered. All right, y'all. This was a blast. Enjoy the rest of your time on the internet and everywhere else. Take good care of yourself. Give yourself another hug. Love, love. That full moon in Scorpio. Gone, gone. Enjoy the Sagittarius moon. Enjoy this Mars day. Go get shit done. All right. I'll see you next time. Remember BonnieGillespie.com/events to keep up with when I will be doing the next one of these. And until next time, use your moons. Mwah! Bye, y'all.